Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So congratulations, ma'am. You qualified UGC NET.
Thank you.
And yeah, ma'am. So how's your feeling?
I'm feeling too good actually. I did not think that I would be able to crack it in the first attempt because it was my first attempt, though I was a little late according to my age. But yeah, I cracked it in the first attempt itself.
Ma'am, when you're trying, it's never be too late. As per the level of difficulty, you are saying your age, many young students, they are not able to qualify and still you made it. It's a big achievement.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So ma'am, how's everyone feeling at home regarding that you qualified UGC NET?
Of course, they're happy because I used to study from Human Peritus books. Frankly speaking, I did not touch any other book, though I purchased so many. I purchased, I think, Arihant, I purchased Pearson and all, but I did not study from those books. I just took the booklets from Human Peritus. Initially, there was a little inhibition, but later, when I started studying from these books, I thought I should be perfect in whatever I'm studying instead of, going for some superfluous kind of things. So I thought I'll study these only at least 5-6 times. Then if I am becoming a dexterous in these books, only then I would search for some other ones. So I studied from the booklets only which were provided.
Okay, ma'am. Can you share something more about yourself, like your education background and any other thing you want to share with us?
Actually, I am an old one for UGC NET. I did my schooling from KVs, then I did my graduation. Then I'm a master's in English, master's in sociology. Then I did my MBA and B.Ed also, and I completed my PhD also before preparing for NET.
Okay.
So I am a doctorate though. But I was not thinking of going through NET. But when I completed my PhD, I thought it could be a mandatory qualification towards after some time. So, I started with it.
Okay, ma'am. So, any preparation strategy you want to share with the future students? How, like, any struggle you faced during your preparation and how you overcome from that?
I had given my exam in labor law. This is code 55.
Yeah.
So when I started with that, I did my MBA in 2012, and then I started teaching in a school. I conceived also in between. I had to leave my job, and I started in 2020. I started after doing my PhD. So it was like starting from the scratch. I was very much in confusion that where I should go. So I joined in the Quora. There was rave reviews about a coaching institute which I won't like to name. I joined that institute because Human Peritus was starting from January only, and they started from August when I left my job. So I continued with the classes with those people for 3 months, but I wasn't satisfied. I paid 35,000 in that coaching. Afterwards, I was in inhibition. I thought I started preparing from Pearson first of all, but the syllabus which was given in that actually was very much superfluous. So I thought that I won't be able to mug up that much from the book. So I was looking for some good notes and all, and whenever I typed this on Google that which coaching should I join, I got Human Peritus on top all the time. So I thought, let's see once what it is. So when I saw that, I went through a lecture which was a demo lecture given in the website, and it was for paper 1, which I liked. But later on, I started with the second one also, this second paper, code 55, and I liked both the lectures. But then again, I was in inhibition because I had already paid the coaching fee over there. So I thought whether I should take the online classes or not. But then I decided afterwards, by I think October, I decided that I should actually take the notes and I won't join the online coaching. So I called sir, and there is actually a number given on the website. I called sir, I said, I just want the notes. So I purchased the notes from you people, and the notes were actually very good, the papers and all. When my husband saw that for the first time, actually it came well packed. He said the books are very well printed. So I started, studying from those notes only. Gradually, I thought I should be taking the online coaching, but my money was stuck in the other coaching also. So I wasn't sure whether I should take. So I contemplated for, I think, another 1 month before buying the online course. So I think somewhere in November, I purchased the online course also, and I wrote a mail whether that amount will be deducted or not. So the amount was deducted, and I started with the online coaching, and it started somewhere in, I think, January. And it is a very good system, though I have recommended this to so many people also. The system is very good. On every Friday we get the schedule of the classes, and we have to just click on the link and see, there are mock tests also given to us, and that is personally shared with us on our email. But frankly speaking, I did only 3 mock tests, but I thoroughly studied the booklets. And then I started with the online coaching, and with online coaching I think they completed in April. So starting from the scratch, I think after doing, can you give me a minute please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I started like after 2012, I was not very aware of what I had to go through. Like 2012 and 2020, there was so much of gap, so I wasn't sure what to do. So I started from the scratch, frankly. And when the online classes were there, I liked the lectures by Meeta ma'am a lot. And there was one OB teacher, Ankita ma'am was very good. And there were other teachers also. I mean, they used to take lectures for 2.5 hours, and we would get tired once it's happened that there were 3 lectures in continuation. And at 3 o'clock, Ankita ma'am was asking something. She said, ma'am, we are so tired that we have taken lectures since morning. She said, if you have to get something, you have to take the lectures. Shiva sir also used to take Indian logic and all. So I attended the classes thoroughly, the online classes. Like, it was very difficult for me because I have a son also, but I was so sure that I have to attend the online classes, and I studied the booklet till 2:30 at night. I used to study those booklets. And I think I read in the first paper, I'm not sure, but in the second paper I can vouch on that. I got at least 96 questions from second paper from the Human Peritus book. There were 2 which I can mention. In that, half of that was given, like the trade union, who has made that trade union, some question was there. 2 of the authors were given in the booklet, third was not given in the booklet. So I randomly guessed that, but otherwise 96 question I can sure that they were from the booklet. And in the first paper, I think first paper is actually a common sense based question. I won't there were not the questions from the first paper, and I won't blame anyone for that, because whatever book you are searching for, because suppose in the Human Peritus book, Indian Solar Alliance is given, they won't ask you the questions from that. Now they'll ask you from whatever happening in the current scenario. They'll ask the questions from that, so nobody can be blamed, because the questions which are being asked in the first paper are not found in any of the books, what I think.
Yeah.
In the first paper, there was a question that Indian government has done something regarding to Jal Sancharan or something was there, and how much percentage of water will be saved by 2020 or something like that. One question was there. So these are common sense, general awareness based question. I don't think it is found in any of the books. Like, I remember one question, because when Shiva sir was teaching us, he taught us that that Millennium Development Goals are very important and all. But the question was, in the 8th goal, what topics are covered? This was the question. So that cannot be anywhere. I'm not saying that the book was not sufficient. Actually, it can be found only if you are aware of the things which are presently going on.
Actually, ma'am. So, ma'am, any time division or time management tips, like how you manage for paper 1 and how you manage for paper 2, and in your whole, you are a family person, right? So you have a family and still you manage to qualify UGC NET. It's a big compliment and big achievement. So how you manage your time in your schedule?
See, I took the online classes just because I wanted to be thorough with my studies, because otherwise at my age we can study on our own also. But I took the classes because we have a habit, we do not study, we see the phone, we roam about, and we are not very particular about the timing. So I took the classes so that at least something in particular is there where I am bound to do that. So I was bound to do the class. I had made up my mind that whatever happens, I have to attend the class, and I did not leave any class of Human Peritus. And I was very much, even if you check my attendance, I was there in all the classes except maybe in maths. I was there in all the classes. So I took the classes because I knew that if I won't take the classes, I won't be studying at all. And afterwards, when the classes were over, because I wasn't working that time, so when the classes were over, I started from 10 o'clock at night, I used to start, and it could go to 2:30 also sometimes at 1:30 also. I used to go through the booklets only, what was taught in the class. So sometimes there were 3-4 classes, so it wasn't possible. But you would believe I have read those booklets, I think 4 or 5 times till now. Because when I gave my UGC NET exam, when I came back, I was like, oh, I was not sure about the questions. So I started studying again from January onwards, the very next day onwards. And I took the second time also, I joined your online classes, though I did not attend the second time because I was sure that whatever is taught was sufficient and I have to go through the booklet. But since if I wouldn't have started working, I would be going through your classes again. I had paid the amount for those classes, but I did not join at the second time because, the thing was done. Like when I started from the scratch in 2020, like after 2012 to 2020, I started from the scratch. And things were made very clear to us. In the classes, if somebody is preparing and is not sure about himself that he would study thoroughly, he should join the class. Otherwise, if somebody is there who's sincere enough, who can go through the booklets only and he's sure that he would devote this much of time, he can go through the booklets only. That is entirely up to that person. Because I wasn't sure that I would be studying thoroughly if I won't join the classes.
Yeah. How many hours you devoted for studies? Like 4 or 5 hours from your day?
If I tell you frankly about your classes goes on at least 2 classes are there in a day, and that can go for, I think, sometimes 2 and 2.5 hours. I don't think there is any class which is less than that. So I attended the classes 5 hours in a day, and afterwards 3-4 hours to my reading part.
So, ma'am, any tips for future aspirants? What they should do and they should don't do?
I think there is no shortcut. I remember, I don't know the name of the teacher who takes our maths class, logical reasoning. Sir is there. And he told us once that he said you have to study. There are no shortcuts. Mata Rani kuch nahi karegi. He told us once in the class itself. So really, there are no shortcuts. You have to study. I am a family woman. I have a son also, and I have a husband also. So I had little time, but these classes actually, somewhere they bound me to study. So one must go ahead with studying all the time, and instead of buying so many books, you should choose one book and go ahead with that particular book only and read it 5-6 times, because there is nothing different in all the books. Same thing is given. You make perfect what is your strength instead of working on your weakness. What I did, I made my strengths more stronger instead of going and working on my weaknesses. I knew my reading comprehension was good, so I worked on that. Indian logic sir has taught, and frankly he taught very good. Like he used to ask questions from us. So one should work on the strengths and make it stronger, so that here you are not going to lose any mark. And in the weakness, thoda bahut, a little bit if you do, you are able to get through. It's and the same thing, there is no shortcut. You have to study the same book 4 or 5 times at least until you are well versed in that. Think of switching the book only if you have worked very well on that, everything is mucked up very well, you have remembered everything, you can solve concept based question, only then switch on to any other. Otherwise, take one and go on reading it 4 times, 5 times, 6 times until you become a dexterous in that.
Thank you so much, ma'am, to have a great discussion with us. I'm really feeling nice to talk to you, and congratulations again.